What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday, y'all. Welcome back to Boxem Office Hours here. As a reminder, every Monday, 5 Eastern, Tuesday, Thursday, 4 Eastern, we're live answering questions. Just helping out as many of y'all as possible. Scale in 2026. I've been loving seeing a lot of guys and gals kind of getting after it here in the new year. Lots of success being had already. Seeing first sales, that kind of stuff. Some fun stuff in the works for lots of new Amazon sellers right now. So if you're kind of in the newer side of things, you want to get serious, just start diving into the free content we have. So there's the free Amazon course on YouTube, and then down below, if you guys are watching the replay, there's also lots of good free resources down there as well. But yeah, let me know who's in chat today. Let me know what questions you guys have live for the next 30 minutes or so, talking shop. And yeah, good to see you guys. What up, Chris? How you doing today, man? Good vibes. How's business going for you? I know I've been seeing you pop in the streams a lot recently. So yeah, how's everything going for you? Everything making sense? What's not making sense? Yeah. Sweet. Let's see. You said you're a new seller, selling in the US market, living outside the US. Yeah, so you'll just need a prep center. That's pretty common. It's also like any of you guys who are in the US, if you live on the 8th story of some giant apartment building, or you have a tiny house, something like that, you truly can't have stuff in your house, like you'll just use a prep center. Same thing goes there, basically. Yeah, for sure. Let's see. What up, Chris? You said working on sending your 4th box out right now. I like it. Yeah, so you're getting the ball rolling there. I love it. How much have you sold so far, Chris? Let's see. Saw the Ollie's video with your friend. I made that video like a couple months ago, Matt. Yeah. That one's pretty fun. Yeah, I basically know a lot of people check that one out. I basically went to Ollie's with one of my friends who's like a huge RA seller. He did like just shy of like $1 million last year, like literally just doing retail arbitrage, which is kind of insane. I don't know how that's possible, but that's what I love about online money. Everybody doing stuff that, even if you're doing pretty well, somebody else is doing their own thing, crushing it, that kind of thing. Like there's just too many ways to make some money online these days. I love seeing that kind of thing. But yeah, if you guys didn't see that video, it's a good one on YouTube. Let's see. Send the 4th box out. You had just some books you had in your house, some RA stuff you're able to find. Yeah, that sounds like a great start there, Chris. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. A lot of people, like, if you just need something to sell on Amazon, I know a lot of you guys are like brand new and that kind of thing. Like you can literally sell like the used books you already got on the shelf. Just like test the waters, see how it goes. Send a shipment to Amazon, that kind of thing. Let's see. You're a seller since 2015. They never allowed receipts to ungate, so they have the whole time, Drew. So you probably missed some opportunity along the way. So let's say you want to sell, jockey clothing, for example. It doesn't work as well if you're doing it in store, but if you get it online where it has like your address, your information, that kind of thing, then yeah, that's exactly what you'll use to get approved to sell some new brands and stuff like that. See, you said you have 15K to start. You have access to purchasing managers. That's a good connect for you, man. What you want to do is, like, of those brands that you have connections with, dive in on the storefronts of people who already sell it. So you said they mentioned that you have a connection to somebody who sells Dove, right? And this goes for any of you guys that want to sell anything. If you want to figure out the good products on that brand to sell, just pull up a listing of that item that's decent selling listing, that kind of thing. Filter their store to just that brand on SellerAmp, and then you'll just kind of have a filtered list of products that people already sourced in that specific niche, brand, category, whatever you're kind of focused on. And then you can take that list back to like a wholesaler or something like that if you want to go the wholesale route. Let's see. You said you're ready to get into it. Just a matter of saving up the initial investment. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you need like $1,000 to throw out some products, and yeah, well, as long as you have like $1,000, you've that's a good start. You can always start just like used books, anything that's super cheap. Go into clearance sections, stuff like that is a good place to at least like get the ball rolling and start making some sales. What categories are the easiest to get ungated in? So clothing is auto ungated, as is like vinyls and that kind of thing can be auto ungated as well. Yeah, and then if you guys are wanting to see like how to source things that don't require like any ungating and that kind of thing, I made a video on YouTube. If you just look up like auto ungated sourcing, you'll see me sourcing stuff that doesn't require ungates, or at least kind of shows you how to find things that don't require ungates for your account. Let's see. It's breaking up your stuff, wanting to ship you to 5 places. Yeah, for like making shipments, that's normal, unless you make an optimized shipment. So like on Boxem, if you make your shipments there, it'll kind of guide you through how to do that. And essentially, you just have to make identical boxes, and that'll kind of save you the placement fees, basically. At least with those split shipments, or you can do like big shipments where you opt into placement fees, so you pay per unit to ship it all to one location. I don't usually recommend that though, because if you ship it all to one location, the real cost is the lead time, because it's all going to go to one warehouse and it's not going to like distribute out from there. Or they're still it is going to have to distribute out from there, right? So it's going to take extra time to get those products checked in and selling and that kind of thing. Sweet. What up, Dream? Said you find in trouble finding some products you're from Denmark. Yeah, so I mean it's the same concept, man. You can also just try selling on Amazon US and just use a prep center. And yeah, a bunch of you guys on TikTok asking about prep center. So yeah, you just Google like prep center Delaware, prep center Montana, any state that has no sales tax. That way, obviously, you're saving money. And then you'll just reach out to them. They'll log into like Boxem for you to make shipments. Track it all for you, that kind of thing, and you usually pay like $1 to $1.50 a unit depending on volume, maybe a little bit higher depending on the type of products you sell, for sure. So do you ever touch your product? Personally, no. I did when I was starting, like I'd do some FBMs, like shipping direct to customer, as well as like doing my own FBA shipments, but at this point, no. So we'll yeah, I haven't really seen any of my inventory in like a couple years at this point, just because I've prep centers handling it and that kind of thing. I think 2023 Q4 was the last time I touched inventory. Let's see. Do you have courses? So there's a free course you can watch, Nita. Yeah. So just look up Fields of Profit free course on YouTube. There's also a link in my profile or down below, depending on where you're watching. Super long, detailed free course. You had to kind of do all the sourcing, ungating, all that good stuff. Sweet. Let's see. Do you think customers will still be spending money on Amazon? Basically, I mean, yes. Like I wouldn't worry about the largest shopping platform ever seeing less sales. Amazon will do anything they can to do marketing, make more sales, all that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't be too worried about that. In general, the way you can look at it, like if you're worried about like, oh, the economy's gonna tank or whatever, and no one's gonna have money to buy my products. Okay, and economy tanking is down 10%, right? If you're not growing faster than 10% per month as a new business owner, like you're not really like putting in the effort. You know what I mean? Like your micro growth should massively outpace any like macro trends. Now, if you were someone who was doing $10 million a year and you're worried about the economy, sure, very valid, right? If you are brand new, you're going to go faster, right? Like you're just going to outpace any kind of like outside factors. Let's see. How long did it take you to make your first sale? A couple days. Yeah, it's pretty quick. Like as soon as you list something, like as long as you as long as you just list something that sells. Absolutely not, Drew. Absolutely not. Go pack. Absolutely not. You guys got lucky twice this year. No, go win it. Let's see. What do you do with marketing? Do you do paid ads for each of your products? No paid ads. Just because the smartest way to sell on Amazon is buying things that already sell, right? You're not buying ads, marketing, that kind of thing. So I'll buy, for example, a bottle of vitamins from Walgreens for $10 and then list it on Amazon for 20. And it'll be like Nature Made brand or something like that, where people are already searching for it, already buying it. Your only goal is to get it as cheaply as possible, to buy stuff at a price that's profitable after you sell it. Usually that's going to mean buying things for about half of what you hope to sell it for on Amazon. That's like the general rule of thumb. And the way you can get your prices down to half or less what you plan to sell it for is, coupon sales, clearances, limited discounts, literally asking customer service, discounted gift cards. There's tons of different ways to create margin. And that's where like a lot of people who don't make money, they don't understand that you need to create the margin. You're not finding the margin. It's like, that's kind of how I like to put it. Sweet. Let's see, how would you use a Black Friday deal to find a product? I mean, Black Friday, you're not going to right now. But yeah. Let's see. You have a bunch of random books, individuals that are all new. How will they take the shipment? Will they break it up? They'll probably split it into different warehouses, but when they split it into different warehouses, they're trying to send it to somewhere where the inventory is needed, so that when it gets there, it's more likely to immediately be available for sale. Like honestly, I wouldn't super worry about like getting your stuff sent to different warehouses, because it's reducing your lead time basically. If you pay extra to get it all shipped to one warehouse, it increases your lead time, which is obviously expensive to have a slower lead time, because then takes your money longer to reinvest basically. Just yeah, I mean, it's just kind of part of the process. So do you physically collect the purchases and keep it in your house till purchase? So not anymore. I definitely had like I have some pictures like my living room full of random stuff from all over the internet. Just the UPS driver coming picking up like 50 boxes at a time, that kind of thing. But at this point, I use a prep center. So I'll buy a product from, let's call it Walgreens.com. Bought some stuff there last night. I'll ship it to my prep center, pay $0 in sales tax because it's in a state with no sales tax, just kind of a easy life hack, and then they'll ship it to Amazon for me. But obviously, you got to start somewhere. So most of us will be starting shipping stuff out of the bedroom, and that's one of the fun eras in some parts. It's kind of fun in the early days, like seeing all the stuff, making sales, like kind of seeing it just tangibly in front of you, basically. Let's see. Can you help to open a seller account on Amazon? I mean, it's just look up sell.amazon.com, man. You don't really need help like creating a seller account. You're just punching in information. Let's see. How do you find a good prep center? Just on Google. There's a bajillion prep centers that want your business. It's just finding one that has good customer service and that kind of thing. I work with like a really small one, or I would suggest a specific one. Let's see. How do you find viable products? Do you ever have to pivot or switch products? I mean, yeah, that's the whole idea, is like you're constantly looking for new things, because you're basically building a portfolio of products that make you anywhere from $100 a month to $10,000 a month, as that'd be like a really good, like a very, very good reselling product. I've definitely made more than that in a month on one product, but that's kind of how you want to look at it, right? You're building a portfolio of things that make you various amounts of money. So you're just going to keep growing that portfolio, basically. In terms of like finding those products, reverse sourcing is the way to go. Just like tactically, if you want to look that up. And then you can also, like, if you dive into the free content. So I have a free course on YouTube. Just look up Fields of Profit free course. You'll see like how to source and stuff, man. Let's see. Sweet. Let's see, net margin. So I shoot for like 10% after it's all said and done, because I pay people to source all my products, to ship all my products, to buy all the products, and to manage the Amazon store. So kind of just running the company at this point. For the most part, you'll be, if you're around like a 20% gross margin, that's like a pretty healthy Amazon business. Yeah, Turbo, that is right. There was a hater who literally didn't know how to spell. That's funny. So it shows you like intelligence levels a little bit. Let's see. What's up, Caden? Said you did your first Amazon to Amazon flip. Nice. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Those are fun. That's not something I do a ton of, but that's like in people's entire business, like, which I love. Like I was saying, there's so many different ways that people are like getting after it on Amazon, online in general. Like people's entire business is buying stuff from Amazon. Well, it's like too cheap or like limited time products, and then selling it back when it goes like fully out of stock. So you do buy from Walgreens and resell on Amazon? Yeah, for sure. I bought a good amount of stuff there. It's not like one of my best places to buy inventory, but I've easily spent six figures at Walgreens, which is kind of funny, especially since I worked at Walgreens in high school, and that was the money I made working at Walgreens is the money that I used to start my Amazon business, and now I've made like way more money buying stuff from Walgreens rather than working at Walgreens as a high school kid, basically. Let's see. Do you input anything into SellerAmp settings to stay profitable after shipping and fees? Yeah. So in your settings, put 60 cents per pound as your shipping. That's typically about what it'll cost. And then I like including like 50 cents or $1 per unit, just as like a prep cost. So just kind of factoring in, like making sure you're paying yourself some money, making sure, you paid for that poly bag, the box, that kind of thing. For sure. First FBA shipment just checked in. However, it says units aren't Prime eligible. Is that normal? Yeah. So if your shipment just checked in, it's probably like shuffling around at the warehouse, where it's not quite available for that, 1 or 2 day Prime shipping, but it will be soon. So you'll see that timeline like get closer. Usually within like a week or two of getting delivered at the fulfillment center, you'll start seeing yourself available for Prime shipping, for sure. How do you start an Amazon seller account? Just you can just look up like sell.amazon.com is like the basics of it. If you want to see like tactically how to do everything, I have a free course up in my bio or just on the YouTube channel. Same username as TikTok. Yeah, and for everybody else who's watching, just look up that Fields of Profit free course I've been talking about. Made a 5.5 hour long video that shows you like all the details, updated everything for 2026, that kind of thing. Sweet. Let's see. They requested some receipts for authentic items. Yeah, that's normal, Michael. I think a lot of people like get very, justifiably concerned when Amazon reaches out to you and says, "Hey, we need proof that this inventory is legit." Right? That's going to happen. As long as you're buying from big giant retailers, Walmart, Walgreens, directly from the brand, that kind of thing, like you're totally good. Just avoid those like sketchy websites that just seem a little too good to be true. Buying from Telegram suppliers, stuff like that. Just make sure that you trust your suppliers, for sure. Let's see, Matt, you said go watch the free course. Yeah. Appreciate you, Matt. Glad it was helpful. So yeah, let me know. Keep the questions rolling here. Good vibes today. Let's see, what about cost of delivery for heavy pet products? So it costs like 60 cents a pound to ship stuff into Amazon if you're doing FBA. Otherwise, you can price out like the individual shipping. On like you'll buy the shipping through Amazon typically. Yeah, to be honest, a lot of people like a lot of products that are like dog food bags or like big paper towels and that kind of thing. If they're all being sold by FBM sellers, it's probably being dominated by people who are breaking Amazon's rules. So if you ever look at like a really heavy product and you have no idea how they're making money, it's probably because they're buying illegal labels or they're drop shipping, which are both obviously not cool. Yeah. Let's see. Appreciate you, Turbo Man. Let's see. Do you buy from Alibaba? Nope. There's no reason to, just because Alibaba doesn't sell like name brand things. And I only sell like name brand stuff basically. Let's see. You're thinking of starting FBM at stores like Ross, Ollie's, McKay's, hitting some clearance. Yeah, that's a good place to start. Yeah. Like going out to physical stores, scanning clearance sections, that kind of thing. Like you're only competing with the couple Amazon sellers in your city, right? Versus online, you're competing with anyone with an internet connection that knows how to source products. So if you want to like find those first products, it's like less competition, basically, I would say. Yeah, so it'll be a little bit easier to source those first things. Obviously, just the trade-off is you have to spend more time. Let's see what book genre. When I was selling books, I always liked like religious books, like hobby books. Like one time I bought like a whole storage unit full of like Train and Wild West and like that type of stuff. Like they had like 30, 40 boxes full of like hobbyist books. Those were really good. But yeah, I wouldn't get stuck selling used books for too long. I know I definitely sold used books for too long. That was all I sold my first year. Which did make like 30K in profit, but it was a ton of work and you're always looking for new things, right? Like when you're selling name brand things, you can restock a lot more. So just don't get stuck in it for too long. It is pretty fun though. Good way to stretch that early capital if you're not starting with a bunch of money. For retail arbitrage, you just start scanning everything to find a product that's ungated. That's not a bad way to go about it. You can also keep in mind that you can get ungated in those brands you're finding with online invoices. So let's say you're in store and you find 50 units of a really good product. Just go online and buy 10 of it. Make sure it's shipped to your address and that's your invoice. So like buy it from Target, Walgreens, Walmart, anything like that, like a legit retailer. Let's see. What if you only have one or two of the same item available? Not a lot. Can you still sell on Amazon? Yeah, you could sell one unit of everything if you really wanted to. It just, obviously it would be hard to scale that way, but if you really want to, like you can sell one of something. And it makes sense. Like a lot of people, you will probably sell one of something like as your first product, just like test it out. It makes total sense. You don't want to sit there and spend $100,000 on something you've never done before. Like sell one unit, see how it goes. Yeah. Let's see. I wouldn't stress like what bank to get. It literally does not matter, Caesar. Anything that stores your money, like things not to stress about when it comes to like managing your business, like what bank to use, like what to name your company, like that doesn't make you money, right? How do I source products? How do I talk to more people who are doing this? Those are the things that make you money, almost exclusively. Sweet. Let's see. How do you sort through a database of a bunch of these to find the ones that are good? Actually, we're working on some stuff for that right now. No, can't spoil too much, but you can use keep a product viewer, and then yeah, you can kind of dig in on like some restocking from there, basically. You can like pull up a list of everything you've sourced before and look at the live data for it, and then compare that to what you paid for it before. Let's see how many hours you work in a day on the Amazon business, like 30 minutes maybe. But that's because I have outsourced like literally everything and like uh not literally everything, but 90% of the business. I worked a lot more than that early on though. So first like 2-3 years selling on Amazon, it was basically all my free time. That was how I spent my college free time. I wasn't going out to bars and partying and that kind of thing. I was sitting at the computer building the business. So now it doesn't take very much time, but don't get me wrong. Like if you're starting an Amazon business, it's going to take time. Really, any business, right? It's going to take time. It's not passive income. It's not all the stuff that people tell you it is. At least the wrong people will tell you it is, right? If you're willing to like do some hard work, like I liked it. Let's see. Listed your first product a couple of days ago, waiting on your first sale. How many products did you have listed until you're making sales every day? Yeah, I like the question, man. So it's less about like how many products do I need to make X sales. It's about how much money do I need to spend on products, because that's a much better way to set your goals, right? Because you might have one product that you buy 1,000 units of, and then you're probably selling that every day, or one product you buy 10 units of. So it's better to look at my goal is $10,000. I want to sell $10,000 this month. That's a lot of people's first goal. Now, to do that, the way the numbers are going to shake out is you're going to spend five grand to 6 grand on inventory to generate that $10,000 in revenue. Hopefully, closer to 5 grand for profitability. So that's like how you'd break down your goals. So you want to do 10K a month. All right, now let me take that $5,000 I need to spend to get there. Let me break that into a daily goal. All right, I know that every day I need to spend $170 on inventory. I think the math works out somewhere around there. I need to spend $170 on inventory every day, and if I do that, I'll be close or at my goal of $10,000 a month. Like that's just how I like to kind of like dissect your goals and stuff, basically. Let's see. Is it hard to list products? No. So you'll take the ASIN or the UPC. The ASIN is basically like Amazon's custom barcode. You'll punch that into Boxem, and then you'll just start creating the shipment from there. But yeah, if you've never like listed products or made a shipment, you just dive in on Boxem, and you'll see kind of it walks you through the process. Basically, it's how you can usually save a little bit of money on shipping, and it'll track all your profit and that kind of stuff too. Let's see. What's a SKU? Just like what you call that product internally is a SKU. So like for example, I'll usually name my product something slightly custom that like gives me information about it. So I'll look at the product and it'll say like 10 Walmart today's date, and then like a random number. So I know where I bought it, I know how much I paid for it, I know how long I've had it. And that kind of helps me like make decisions based on that SKU, whether I'm going to restock it or lower prices, that kind of thing. Boxem, is that how you spell it? Yeah, Turbo. So like the software, kind of breaking that down, like SellerAmp and Keepa is for sourcing inventory. That's like the basic kind of requirements. And then Boxem, Boxem, for making shipments, AI assistant, feedback automation, tracking your profit, like kind of the back end. Let's see, how do you avoid IP complaints? Yeah, you've been doing your homework. So just as long as you're buying things that the brand isn't selling, and you can like look at the listing and see like, oh, there's 20 people on this listing, and then all of a sudden overnight it went to 1. All right, the brand kicked people off this listing. As long as you like avoid those two things, you're good to go. And then you're naturally going to have like account health reviews and that kind of thing. Amazon's just making sure the platform is not full of counterfeits, and as long as you're buying from legit inventory, like legit suppliers, you'll just upload those invoices. It's hard to put an exact number on it, but probably anywhere from like 20 to 40 times we've had to submit documents for various severity of cases to prove authenticity, and we're still selling on Amazon. So if you're worried about, that side of the business, like you're good to go. Just make sure you're buying stuff from trusted retailers. Let's see. Is it safe to buy from Stylevana or Yes Style? You've been doing some beauty source in there. I like it. I personally don't anymore. They ship really slowly, and sometimes like not at all. So I personally don't. But I know some people do and they like it. So it's kind of up to you. Like honestly, like it's not a scam supplier, VSCG. Just place a small order and see what you think. Let's see. What up, Turk? How you doing, man? Good to see you. What do you do about Vori's letter? Throw them in the trash. Like they're unenforceable. Yeah, you'll if you're a successful Amazon seller for a while, you'll have a good pile of them. They're a rite of passage. They're a badge. Let's see. How much do you think you need to start for wholesale? If you're going to get into wholesale, like 5 or 10K. There's also no reason to start with wholesale. It's much better to start with reselling stuff just from big websites or from retailers. Let's see. Nah, Ray. I mean, you can look into like the legal protections and stuff. First sale doctrine, that kind of thing is like the commonly brought up if you're like super worried about it. But as someone with around $250,000 worth of inventory at Amazon, I'm built on the premise I'm not concerned. You can make your own decision though. Let's see. Ire bought the Vitacost website. Interesting, David. That's interesting. I wonder what that will affect. They previously were like competing with each other on prices, so it might hurt sourcing a little bit there, but that is interesting. How do you avoid fake websites when sourcing? Good question, man. You've been doing your homework too, Mario. I like it. Trustpilot, or if they take PayPal, or if there's a cashback provider linked. Those are 3 ways to verify that like whoever you're buying from is probably legit. Not like a guarantee, but between those 3. Let's see. Amazon rejects overseas receipt. It depends on the supplier, because this, like, if Amazon didn't take international receipts, then no one could import anything. You know what I mean? And obviously, people are importing lots of things to sell on Amazon. PayPal. Sorry, no, Caden. So PayPal is a good sign on a supplier. So if they take PayPal, if they have cashback providers linked, or if you check their Trustpilot, it's like a decent rating. Then it's, and especially if all 3 of those things are true, then it's probably like a legit place you can source from. The reason why if they don't take PayPal as a red flag is because PayPal is like, it's really easy to get your money back if you buy something and don't get it. So like a scam website is not going to offer it, obviously, because they don't want it to be easy to, get your money back. For sure. Let's see, how many brands have sent you Vori's letters? 200 plus, 300 plus. Like literally, none of them have ever done anything. Yeah. Out of the 2.5 mil, how much do you pocket? So I shoot for 10% net margin after I pay my team and software and all that kind of stuff. If you're closer to like 20, even a little bit higher than 20% gross margin, then you have plenty of wiggle room to run the business as you see fit, basically. Do you have to do anything once Amazon receives your first package? No. Like after you've made the FBA shipment, it'll check in at the warehouse. They'll start shifting it around where it needs, and you'll start seeing yourself pop up on the listing. You'll see your name showing up in the add to cart button on Amazon. You got to take the screenshot and send it to your friends. Look, I'm on Amazon now, that kind of thing. Like, yeah. Let's see. Heard it's hard to ungate for beginners. I mean, the ungating process is the exact same, whether you've been selling for 10 years or you've been selling for 10 hours. So you just look up ungating on YouTube, how to get ungated, and click one of my videos there. For sure. Let's see. Do you do anything on the side? What do you mean, Caden? I play a lot of golf in terms of things that are not income generating. Let's see. What do you do about sellers who undercut others to hold the buy box? A lot of times just wait them out. Or if there's a lot of people lowering prices, it's usually because there was a cheaper way to get that item. So just always making sure you're sourcing with, you're not just looking at the sale where it's $10 off, right? You're looking at that, and then you're also stacking a coupon code that you found on Capital One Shopping, and then you're also stacking another 10% off discounted gift card. And if you don't know what those things are, I'll just like dive into some of the free content. Yeah, honestly, it's probably a good place to wrap up here. Good hanging out with you guys. If you want to see like how to make items profitable, how to source products, get ungated, that kind of thing, check out the free course that's down below or on up in the bio, depending on what you're watching on. And yeah, really appreciate you guys hopping in today. Hopefully this helps, and I'll see you guys again very soon. As far as like scheduled stream every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday around this time live. So yeah, good to see you.